The Talking Leeds podcast, match reaction with Aaron Marshall and Gerry McNamee.
Hello and welcome to Talking Leeds Match Reaction with myself, Arron Marshall, and Mr. Gerry McNamee, reflecting on Nottingham Forest 3, Leeds United 1. Gerry, another defeat on the road. It is becoming a bit difficult, isn't it, at this moment in time for Leeds fans?
We knew we were going to lose half our games this season, and that's just a given. But the manner of the last three away defeats and the way it's going, I love Daniel Farke. I love what he's done for us. He seems a nice guy, but I think the time has come, and I don't think it's going to happen this week. From what I hear on the grapevine and people who know, it doesn't seem that they're going. I was expecting. I've got the telly going here today, and the BBC DG's gone. Maybe he's coming. I don't know, but that's all that's on the news. Does not come. It was poor again. All the things that have been going wrong the whole time, and it's just insipid. I think I sent you a graphic earlier in the week that shows we are the slowest team in the Premier League in build-up, and you can see it. Ball comes out, Perry out to Joe Rodon, Joe Rodon across to Be-all to Stack. Maybe Stack will run into midfield and loses it back. Give it to Brendan, he definitely loses it back. Back to the keeper. And we had two shots on goal, yes. One the goal and one Dan James. Two shots against Brighton in one move and Burnley. And it's the manner of these defeats. It's not, and we've lost. We played 7 of the bottom 10 now as well, and we were unlucky against Fulham. We were great early season against Newcastle. We were pressing and everything, and we just seem to have regressed. A lot of players, Sean Longstaff, we were raving about him. It's gone backwards. Stack gone a bit backwards, and the style of play, we're just attacking intent. It's too slow. We got loads of possession. Doesn't matter. I'm not even far. A sad bugger that I am. I watched the game back when I came home yesterday, and Nottingham Forest weren't that great. I mean, Forest fans. I was in the Forest end yesterday, a bit of prawn sandwich, and they weren't confident. They were saying this was a big one for them, and we made them look better than they were. And I just don't see how Daniel. He's stubborn. He's not going to change with the same thing. Subs on 70+ minutes. Mad subs in the 80th minute, and just it's depressing. And then the thing is, who's out there? You would have taken Sean Dyche probably, or Nuno. They're gone, and the manager's been mentioned. We were just talking off air. Some Marcus Rosen or Rose, who's a failed RB Leipzig. Yeah, that always goes well for us. Leipzig, Salzburg, Red Bull, all that bollocks. Brendan Rodgers, no thanks. I watched Celtic for the last year. No, thank you. Postecoglou, no. Stevie Gerrard, he can feck off. Robbie Keane, I don't know. And then a load of others I've never really heard of. When we were saying, let's go. We should be the big. There used to be clubs of Nick Ayr managers. Go for the Bournemouth manager. There's a guy, 14,000 ground in the middle of a park. Come on, he's got to want to come to Leeds. We tried to get him once before, and that's the sort of ambition we need. I think it's too late. We learned with Jesse. It's too late in February. If you're already in trouble, managers don't want to come, players don't want to come. And we got horrendous fixtures, you know that, but new blood's coming in 2 weeks with a 2-week break, but I don't think we're going to do it. And I think Farke says, they're an emotional fan base. Yes, we are, but there was a lot of emotion. I was talking to a few guys in the way end yesterday, and it was mixed of apathy and anger and everything else. And the whole thing it's coming off the rails a little bit. We didn't expect to be winning every game, but we were competing. But now we're easy, and 3 goals again. Bad defending, loads of players in the box not picking up, ball watching. I'm so frustrated and sad without being angry. Maybe I'm angry.
Nemecha's goal, I think, was a great goal, by the way. I think let's look at the positives first. Nemecha was a great goal. Well worked.
The
And
strikers in service.
this kind of hoof it forward, hope they make a mistake. It kind of did happen for us. And Nemecha, he sees it, and we actually scored a goal with a shot on target for once, which I think that's a step forward. However, 90 seconds later, bang, Forest have got an equaliser. And you could see on TV, because I watched it on Sky, and you could see Farke immediately. It's like, he was there, Ed, concentrate now. And they just completely lost it. Plays. It was too easy. And we've seen it far too long, those goals which you conceded. It's very, very typical Leeds.
I mean, we were against the run of play because Forest had early chances. And Mecha did he make that save? He made that reflex save.
Yeah.
Not Mecha, Perry. He made that, and brilliant. And for the goal they scored, you think he probably should have held that, and that's the criticism I give him. But otherwise, he didn't have loads of saves to make, and I think the goals, well, obviously the penalty and everything else, I think he was just exposed. But Nemecha just showed that same shot against Brighton that the keeper saved, and just shows you get the ball quickly forward. I watch other teams, I watch Match of the Day and think, I wish that was us. I watch Brentford. Why they get the ball forward so quickly and moving, and we're so laboured.
That transition, which other teams, you look at Brighton, and I know they kind of, we're trying to model that kind of style of play where we reset and go again, but we haven't got the quality to do that. And I think that's the issue here, the quality, and it all boils down to recruitment in the summer. I think that's like the thing. It's coming back to haunt us, and we know that. But when you've got, I think Okafor, the more I see him, the more I kind of like him, because he's got that little bit of quality. He's got that little bit of vision, hasn't he? Where he tries and drives to kind of make and create opportunities for Leeds. But there's just the quality in that forward line is just for me not good enough. And I think those players, Brendan, I know he kind of had a good game yesterday, but it's just too weak, man. Just, come on, Nemecha. Dominic Calvert-Lewin came off the bench as well. He just did nothing, and it was just incredibly frustrating yesterday for us.
You look at Okafor, and a few times he did get the ball. It was the same with Goodmanson as well. He made that run, but our attacking players are far away. There's nobody close, and they make them runs and get in, and they run into traffic, and there's nowhere for the ball to go. We don't seem to have that fluidity going forward. I mean, the goal, Okafor, there was he got a nice little touch. He slid in, little touch to Brendan. Brendan, great ball to the match, and bang, that was just behind it and bottom corner.
Yeah,
and I think that was good. I thought Brendan first couple, and I thought, I was saying the guys beside me, I was slagging him off. He's doing all right, but then I watched him, and Nico Williams a few times. Brendan gets the ball. He might win. Just come back, just shove him off it, and he's busy. And then does bugger all. Then, and I don't. As I said, also he's not a starter. I suppose if you run through the team, Perry was okay. That reflex save, good. He made one last week as well. So there's a keeper in there. He still looks a bit cumbersome. He's a unit. He was touching the goal post without standing on his tippy toes, the crossbar for the penalty. I thought Joe Rodon looked angry. He looked like he was holding his hamstring at the end. I was a bit worried. I thought Bejol's okay, but he's not, I suppose, attacking player. But listen, if we gotta hit long balls to the strike, do it. Do something different. Play three at the back, but it's the same thing. We're just tweaking with the changes yesterday. Obviously, just because of injuries. That's all. There was no tactical change. I think our fullbacks, Bogle's dropped a bit, but still good. Goodmanson attacking, though it still got behind him yesterday. But I think that was a culmination of the whole defence. I think Longstaff has dropped off a bit. So, and we got three defensive midfielders, no creativity there. I think Ampadu's still below par. Stack slightly better, but again, not creative, not making those runs forward. Okafor is talented. We talk about Brendan. Mecha, if he gets the service, same with Calvert-Lewin, they're fighting for scraps. If you don't, we had, I think in the first half, something like 4 or 5 touches in the penalty area. That's scandalous. If you're going to defend and you're going to be defensive, bloody defend and do it properly. And because you see the second goal comes across, and Mari Hutchinson comes on, and he crossed that ball in, and there's 5 players, 6 players. Many times have we seen that this season, but still nips in. 2 players had a chance to score. And then the subs, you think, of course, 70 minutes subs. and you think, why didn't you change it earlier? And I suppose the subs you can think Calvert-Lewin, Pirro, who else came on with them? I'm trying to remember. Oh, Dan James. And
Dan
you think,
James,
okay. And Dan James, somebody says it there. Dan James looks sharper. He has to start next game now. If he's fit, he has to start. He had that shot. But then taking off Goodmanson and Bijol for Pascal. Pascal didn't do it wrong, but Jack Harrison, 4 duels and lost them all, give away 1 penalty. Jack Harrison is not Premier League standard. Great player under Bielsa 5-6 years ago. He's not good enough to be playing the Premiership, and he's a liability now. And,
for me, though, Jerry, I think, and I know Farke's under a lot of pressure, but I think that sub there, and you could see what it was going for it. It's attack, but putting Jack Harrison at left back, and I think Gabby Goodmanson, I think he had a fantastic game. I think, he's strong, he's physical, he tries to get the ball forward. He didn't really do much wrong yesterday for me, did Goodmanson, but that sub for me was clearly an act of desperation from Farke. And you've just got to think, why? I'm still fuming about that, because you can see when he comes on and you just think, God, he's so out of position. It was just poor. And I think it was clear desperation to try and make something. And that for me was criminal yesterday, bringing him on. And I think, Goodmanson didn't do anything wrong. I didn't get that sub, if I'm being honest. I didn't really get it.
I take David's point there. Yeah, Bijol did lose the man second goal. They all lost their men. There was nobody telling. And then Jimbo, yes, we do have jobs, but
we do, yes,
luckily flexible jobs. Yes.
Let's have a look here. It's not like Goodmanson is defensive full back. I know he's not, but he was okay. Clive,
he makes that run he made. He took him right out. He did. But Forest, they seem to. Yeah, I think most teams look at Leeds and after a while think, just crowd them out in midfield. They're not creative. They're not going through us, and the teams seem to be able to pass through us.
Yeah,
it's fair.
Interesting what Michael says. Bogler's been terrible all year, to be honest. He hasn't good enough for this level on his defensive side. We are now seeing Blades Bogle.
I think maybe he hasn't been great. He hasn't been great the last couple of games, but I think he started the season well. So I don't think it's just Bogle. You can't just pick him one player, although I always pick him Brendan. But I don't think he can. I think we just got to do something different, or have the old plan B. Do managers have plan Bs? I don't know, but Farke, we saw this. This is the same thing we were looking at last year. Throw everybody on, but you can do that against Plymouth and Oxford and Cardiff and get away with it. But in these games, you can't, and it's got to be more structured. Make changes at halftime, but make a statement. Say the players right. That was useless first half. We're changing it with this. We've worked on 3 at the back. We're sticking Pirro up front with the striker, something different, and let's go for it. Let's really push these and bit more speed of thought and everything else, and take a few of them out if you need to. Yeah, and
that's where Dyche got it right, didn't he? Because obviously 60th minute he could see it. He brought Hutchinson, Yates, and Awumi on, and it literally changed the game for them. And they got the goal, and you just think, well, hang on a minute. It was 15 minutes until Leeds made their subs. After that, if he's doing it, come on, freshen it up. You could see they were out of shape half the time in that second half. They completely lost it. And Forest were all over them like a rash, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I say Forest, Brighton, Burnley, beatable, but especially Burnley. Yeah. We should be beating these teams, and we've come up really short. And we looked at these games coming in and thought we need, 4 games. You need to be getting 8 points, and we've had 3. And again against West Ham. Great first half, scored 2 goals, and then we sat back. And then even the goal we conceded that night was, again, ball watching and this defence split. And, I think players, the body language doesn't look good.
No.
And I don't know everybody else thinks, is it time for Daniel to go? Do we stick with him another 2 weeks? I think it's international break, 2 weeks. And I think, the Norwich job's available.
they need. I'm sure they'd.
I saw Norwich. Somebody posted from Norwich and went, "Yes, the plan is working. Let's hope Forest win."
This is the thing, because Farke is under enormous pressure now, isn't he, Jerry? You look at the back of those those defeats, and the way we've been set up, I think, has been completely wrong.
Yeah.
Is it what's keeping? Because we know he's not going to go. We
No.
know that if he was going to go, he would have gone by now.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be in post for the next couple of games. We would think. Gnonto, for me, I think needs to come straight back into that team, that physicality. Yeah. And then I think, well, you look at the games which come up, they're really, really difficult. And, Villa at home, that's going to be tough. But
who are a form team.
And then I don't want to go into the December fixtures because they're just horrific.
Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City.
Oh God!
Yeah, what have Man City got? I mean, that Doku, he's not up to much, is he? In Haaland, what have they got? Jesus, that's just see Doku. Yes, he's a guy who was a bit frustrated. He was on fire. Yes, unplayable. And Haaland just 28 goals this season. 28 goals.
It's just it'll be 48 by the time it's finished.
It's just worrying. You can see another 6 or 7. If we play like that against Man City, it'll be another 6-7. But you don't mind. Well, you do mind it, but you sort of expected though. That's not the games we're going to win. But it's the ones that we expect to get points. We said before 6. There's a 5, 6, 7 team league that we've got to be winning at that bottom, and all of a sudden Wolves are dead, but the others are caught us up now.
Yeah, I think the only thing, Jerry, which is kind of keeping him in a job at the moment, is if we look at that, 11 games played, 11 points, point per game is probably what his target's been realistically at the beginning of this season. So on paper, that's fine, but it's the level of performance. You then look at you look at the home form for Leeds. They've only lost one in a year or whatever. It's a decent home form. I think the games which are coming up at home, and they are against big, massive, big teams, against these, really, really up against it when we come up against them. I think it's the home form which is just keeping him in a job at the moment for me. Because home form is key to survival in the Premier League. We all know that. Anything away from home is a bonus, but with where Forest have started this season, and Burnley and so on, and Fulham, with those defeats, the home form, I think, is the only thing which is keeping him in a job, to be fair. And if he loses it against Villa 2 weeks further down the line, we're seeing history repeating itself with Leeds not being good enough, and the way we've been set up with Marsh and Gracia and things like that. It's just, I don't know, Jerry. I'm in the same boat. I think a change needs to happen now.
Yeah. Well, it could still. You don't know what's going on at the background.
No.
The 49ers have got an investment here, and the new ground. They don't want to go back to the championship. That puts us back 3 or 4 years, even more. Look, the 3 teams that have dropped are struggling. Well, maybe Ipswich come back. If you drop down there again, it's not as if the 3 best teams go up and you've got a sort of clear field, if you like. But it could be competitive down there, and there's no guarantee. And you don't want to look at West Brom. They're stuck down there 4 or 5 years now without parachute payments, and we don't want to. We know full well how that goes. If we drop down, this team is ripped apart. Money that was spent, and it's chaos. And we just got to survive. If 11 points is great this day, we'd have taken that, but it's the momentum or the lack of it, and what we're seeing, and that's 3 or 4 games now of away games that I think, this is not good. And we're, as I say, I watched it last night and I thought, when you watch a game when you know that you've lost or you know what's happened, you can see other things. And I was just surprised how many times we just pass the ball, pass back, pass, go nowhere, pass, go nowhere, and teams attack us, and when they get into the box, we seem to be panicking a bit. So that's the recipe for not being so good.
No, and then you look at West Ham. They've picked up back-to-back wins. Forest, I think they will kick on. I don't see them being any issues with them. And then you're looking down. Wolves, they've got Edwards going in there, and you think, is it too late? But you just don't know in this league, do you? You might turn them around, but
he's very popular in Borough, isn't he?
He is. He's a great guy. What a man!
Family, we're family. Come on. Oh, bye. Yeah. Come on. I live in Telford. I'm off to Wolves.
Michael makes an interesting point. So look at Blades and Norwich now in the relegation spots.
Norwich were nemesis and Blades a while back. Yeah, I think Norwich are. So I'm sure Norwich fans are saying, "Oh, Daniel back. I think I've seen a few of them saying that.
Yeah.
I've seen some stuff on social media, and it's horrible saying stuff about Farke. He's a decent guy, and he's done a great job for us. He came in when it was chaotic and players were leaving and taking legal action and going on strike, and we fell away first season maybe, and last year we ran away. Well, we didn't get up first season with record points. Last season we got 100, and it was great. We enjoyed it. We loved it. We loved him on the tour and everything, and he'd be forever in, as a successful Leeds boss. But I don't want it to go bad. I think if it needs to change, and he goes with his head held high and said, "Thank you very much, Daniel. Just wasn't to be. This is a competitive, cutthroat business league, and we have to stay up. And I don't think you've got what it takes. There's a nice payoff for your contract. You'll get a job straight away, and good luck to him. And I would always think of him fondly, and I still do. But if it goes on much more like this, and we keep playing like this, it'll turn a wee bit toxic, and we don't want that."
Yeah, and this is the thing. I think, you look at, realistically, the opportunity to make a change is the international break.
Yeah.
We've got January coming up as well. And the problem is it snowballs and snowballs, doesn't it, Gerry? And if we're in that bottom three, it's harder to recruit players in January. A lot of people are saying there's about 30 million quid or so to spend. I don't believe that. I believe it when I see them making these signings. He's got to kind of really, you've got to reset and go again. I think the recruitment for me, though, and we've been saying this for months, haven't we, Gerry? The recruitment hasn't been good enough, and ultimately, I think for me the way we set up yesterday was poor. The away form is concerning. We beat Wolves away, and that's fine. But I think everybody's going to beat Wolves by the look of it.
And loyalty to certain players. The team sort of picks itself other than injuries, and you need to rotate a bit. We've got a biggish squad. I mean, I don't know how good he is. This Barnow guy. Yeah, seen him one game at Sheffield Wednesday. I don't know if he's any good or not. And you've got to rotate all these. If Bijol or somebody or Longstaff, if they're not had a good game, well, they're on the bench and someone else comes in. And yesterday was crying out for maybe for Tanaka to come on, a bit of creativity and take one of the defensive midfielders off. But Pirro, was it the right game for Pirro? It's just all these things, but you can almost set it out what was going to happen with subs and tactics and everything. And the people I was with at the Forest, I was sort of happy with myself, but not because it happened exactly how I said to them. We won't have many shots on target. I was shocked when we scored. Won't have many shots on target. You won't change till the 70th minute, and then if we're losing, it'll be chuck everybody on and chuck it and see. And I mean, somebody says there Pascal was sent on to score goals. Well, your centre half to score goals. I know he's done it, but surely his centre forward does that.
David says Farke is setting up for a point a game. He has no bottle. Clive says you have to ask if the stadium fans are serious with the approach to the season. And then Michael says 100% spot on with the transfer window. It was awful fortnights and much to blame as anybody.
Yeah, they're culpable. Yeah. They're part of it as well. Yeah. And I think the only people not culpable and are doing their job are the fans. Full house again yesterday for the Leeds end. Good. Yeah. City Ground's a good stadium. They do sing about fog coming off the river, which is boring. I think we're one of the few clubs that got a song that's original, but it was good proper old stadium, not one of those bowls that it could be anywhere, and atmosphere, and lots of all the usual stuff about miners, Reevy, Clough, everything else. It was good solids, and it was good. And the prawn sandwiches were good, I have to say.
There you go. The prawn sandwiches are good. Did you see the owner on your travels? He was there.
No, I don't think I was in that level of corporate. Lovely dessert, Black Forest Gatto and all donuts. It was good. It was really good. So on the plus side, that was good. But the rest of it, not so good. There was a Leeds fan in our section who did jump up and cheer, and he got some looks, and somebody said, "I'll see you at halftime." But I think the rest of the people around were all right.
Clive saying the fans are a big problem. The fans need to demand more. I don't know what you could demand, Clive, because whichever manager comes in, if Farke stays in, scoring goals is an issue, and I don't see any manager coming in personally who can change that quickly, because when you've got Aronson, Okafor, Harrison, you've got some championshipy wingers and Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front. You don't get the service, you ain't going to get the goals for you.
I mean, David makes a point there. He won sacking, he didn't get the backing, because has mentioned he wanted more attacking options, which every manager wants that 1-2 more players, but he's got to make something of what he has. Excuse me, he's got to make something, and he's got to be flexible in his approach to that, and not do the same thing over and over, which is the first sign of madness.
But he's called it out. He called it out though, didn't he, Gerry, at the beginning of the season? He said, "Look, I need another forward players. That's what we need."
But he hasn't got it, and he needs to change it. Yeah, but the second sign of madness is when Suggs walks up to your front door. But that's another story. Suggs, okay, I'll leave that one alone. Suggs from Madness, the lead singer from that. Anyway, never mind. You got it. You just weren't. It wasn't funny, was it? I thought you didn't get it. Anyway, Aronson's not a winger. No, he's just not good enough.
No, it's not good enough. That's the issue. Jack Harrison isn't good enough. Dan James, he's got the pace, and it needed that when Forest made their subs yesterday.
He's been injured. He hasn't really had a goal this year, has he? Really?
It's going to be one of those seasons for Dan James, isn't it? Where he's going to have an off season. And
we've not seen him in Nanto, have we? We've not seen them. Really at all this year. What they could do, what Willie could bring to it. But as I said before, the longer you're not playing, the better player you become, and everybody wants you back in. But I think I would rather see, and nobody's undroppable, and I think that the defensive three and the defensive midfielders, they need to up the game a bit. I mean, the free kick yesterday. Oh Jesus, that was just. You just thought, this sums it up.
Was it Longstaff who took that one? It was just horrendous.
Good idea, but I mean, it was so telegraphed. The execution was. But Longstaff is a good player. I mean, we're slagging off. He was excellent early, and that Castle game, he scored a goal, and so he's a good player. But I think he looks frustrated, and I think that they are. I think the body. If you're losing the players never get sacked, do they? But if you're losing the players, I think that's
when you need them, and you need your big ones like your Longstaffs, your Ampadu's, your Rodons, your Dominic Calvert-Lewins. You need these guys to step up, don't you? And the body language for me says that he didn't yesterday, but hey ho, it's still in a job.
Let's see what happens this week. If something may happen, who knows? But I would have thought last night or this morning straight away, but from what I hear on the grapevine, there's not from those who know. So
there you go.
There you go. So it's international break now, and see. We got 2 weeks to mull it over and be feeling sad. I'm off. I'm on international duty this week. I'm off to Dublin,
yes.
Dublin and Budapest.
Yeah. Nice.
We win.
Excellent.
We win 4 of our last 2 games, and we qualify. No, we haven't been hoping now. But Budapest is nice, apparently.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, you can enjoy that. Yeah, a bit of insight. Stop. We need to just rest Leeds now, because it's been very depressing over the last couple of weeks, and enjoy the international break. England have already qualified, so it's a waste of time watching England anyway. The English fans out there.
They've already drawn their group. It's they've got Uzbekistan, they've got some sea lions, and the local female choir or something, because England never play anybody. But I'm just bitter, and I'm just annoyed generally. Yeah, Ramzani should have stayed. Ramzani wasn't the answer. This is the thing. Ramzani, the longer you're not there, the better you are. Can we get Joffy back? Can we get Joffy? He's on fire. Well, shows you. Give a player, let him breathe and give him a run, because that's one thing Farke doesn't do. He doesn't develop young talent. He doesn't.
No,
give it a go. And
I'm glad that's come in, because Farke's got a kind of key thing of pissing players off, hasn't he? Because Ramazani's gone off. Matteo Joseph's gone off on loan. He's been pissed off. Joffe, Cresswell, the list goes on, doesn't it?
Cresswell, really? That was an interesting one. Do you give Harry Gray a go? I'm not saying he's the answer, but just something to brighten it up. A bit of
change.
something different, something like that. I remember years ago, I was way before you, Terry Connor. Do you remember Terry Connor? He used to play for us. You wouldn't. Come in as 18-year-old rookie, and he scored 3 or 4 goals in a few games, and it gave everything a lift. I'm not saying Harry, but just do something different, Daniel. Surprise us. If you're going to stay, surprise us. And if not, then it's a scramble who we're going to get in. And if we do pull the trigger, they've got to have a plan, and they've got to do it quick.
You would hope, though, if they do, Jerry, you would have hoped that they've learnt their lessons with the whole Rangers thing, with Rogue, who's gone up there. It took them, it seemed like months for them to get the manager over.
But who would want to go to Rangers? That's the point.
But it took them a while to get it done. And you would hope that they've learnt their lessons. But it's difficult. It's tough at the moment. And we knew this season was going to be tough. We knew it at the beginning of the season.
It's not fun, is it? I liked when we were winning 3-0 against Oxford. I loved that. It was great Saturdays and away days, and you'd have a good 3-0 win away. It was lovely. Yeah.
And now it's
you're giving away your age there, David. That was I think 1980 or 1979, if I'm right. Yes, go. West Brom. It was West Brom. Yes. These youngsters don't remember, David, do they? They don't remember.
I wasn't even conceived then.
Oh, yeah. Got a new player. Hey, it's great. We had some. Lyndon Simmons was another one, if anybody remembers that. He came on, he scored a load of goals, and then we never heard of him again. We always these young lads breaking through. I never heard of them again. But
we have, recently, you look at Sam Greenwood, you can talk about him, Gelhardt, it's just completely. I know it's on loan at Hull, but that was it. Oh God, David says Jesse Marsh has a better record after 11 games. Look how that works out. No. Do you think, Jerry, this team? Well, interesting, because I've had a chat with a couple of WhatsApp groups on this. Which team is better, this current team or the one which got relegated a couple of years ago?
Oh, this team is probably bad. That team was a shambles at the end. I mean, Weston McKennie, I rest my case.
Yeah.
The only player I've booed in a Leeds shirt.
Oh, God.
He was leaving the pitch. I've mentioned Steve Balcom. Yeah. Steve Balcom is the crossover for me because he played for both Leeds and Dundalk, Steve Balcom. He scored one goal against Aston Villa, and I think that was the only time he ever played for us. Yeah. There you go. That team. Sorry, go on.
No, go on. So, which one? So you'd say that the one which got relegated was worse than this?
No, because we had players who had checked out, Mark Rocca and all these guys. They were dreadful. We got good players. We have decent, not the best players, but we got okay players who can turn this around and add a bit in January. Let's not have our typical January window. We don't add. We gotta. If it's not too late by then. Yeah, Sunderland 24 points worse off than us last season.
Recruitment hasn't been good enough, certainly in the final third manager.
Sliding doors, though. Sheffield United went 2-0 up against Sunderland in the playoff, and the goal was chopped off, and then Sunderland scored twice. It's, sliding minute things. Look how it turns out. Sheffield United in the bottom 4, Sunderland, and the Champions League place. That's just, it's madness how things can just change and turn on bad results.
The only saving grace for Sunderland is that they have got AFCON coming up, and I think I was reading somewhere on Twitter 11 of their players are off.
I think they'll be all right. They're
going to be fine.
They're nearly safe already, and part of you just admires how they've gone. I watched them on Saturday, and I just thought, look at the way they're tearing forward, the pace, and he's got them playing so well, and I think that's been a stick to beat Leeds because everybody's going. We saw the recruitment. Everybody thought, they're buying, spend too much money on players, too many new players coming in. And I think fair play, they've done it. I mean, we did it with Bielsa. The thing with Bielsa, we could lose a game 4-0, but there was always one win every 2 or 3, and that's the difference. We don't look like getting those. If we lose badly to Villa, and it's quite possible, I think Alan Road will turn, and I think that'll be sad, but I think, and I shouldn't put him in that position. I think it's done. I don't see any changes. I don't see him doing anything radical, changing the team, and probably we haven't got the depth of squad to do that, to churn it around. So we got to do something different, and a new manager, and And if we do get a new manager, let's hope it's not a project or someone from RB Leipzig or some unknown, or let's make a statement, because
If we
it's
are going to
11
sack him,
games. It's 11 games,
yeah,
and make a statement and go on a little run. You get points off Liverpool. We don't. We could, get a good result in this next batch. It lifts morale and everything else, and we still got enough.
I think the biggest issue for me, Joe, is going into January. If we are going to spend money, which they clearly need to do, it's easier to recruit if you're in 13th, 14th position. If you're 18th or down, who the hell would want to come to Leeds United and be in a relegation battle? You don't want that. You can sell a project. So, we're comfortable mid-table. We're going to be fine this year. We're going to kick on and finish mid-table. And then this season after that, we're going to blah, 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 blah. It's sellable for players. But, we've got to get it right. We've got to get out of this rut. That's what we've got to do.
Yeah.
God, no, we don't want him. No, big
no,
no,
I think about Celtic, but I would have said a year ago yes, but I think I don't think he'll get a Premier League job. I think his style of football suits Scotland when you're Celtic and you can run over teams. It just doesn't work. Planning everybody forward. Chris James, not Chris says, Forest. I think they'll be all right. West Ham. They were a bit iffy, but maybe Burnley. I think it's Burnley, Wolves, and possibly us. If you're looking at the weekend results, you would say that's the way it's going.
It is.
We have to cling on to Fulham and teams like that, but who are thereabouts. But all of a sudden, it's condensed down into 5 or 6 teams.
When you're looking at the team now, and the league table has kind of, it's leveled itself out a little bit, hasn't it, Jerry? You look at who's down there. Everton on 15 points, Brentford 16. But every time I look at Brentford, I think, they're going to get beat, but they go out and win. Brentford, they are. I actually tipped them to be down there with us.
Everybody did. Keith Andrews, the rookie manager, they've lost their manager. They've lost 3 or 4 of their top players. Bournemouth the same. I know they beat yesterday. Lost their whole defence and everything. Good coaching. Good, systems. I remember watching Bournemouth at Ellen Road, and the manager constantly out there, constantly changing things, making adjustments and everything. And ours is just throw all the attackers on and hope for the best.
You're looking there that Newcastle. I can see that they've had a dreadful start to the season, but they're not going to.
Would you take Eddie Howe?
I would do, yeah.
I think so.
Be a great one. Fulham down there, and that Fulham defeat, that last kick of the game, it's just such a kick in the teeth, because if they hadn't have won that, they'd be in real trouble. Fulham, Burnley are down there. I just feel you look at those bottom 2 there, West Ham and Forest, you can see them pulling away. It's clear as day.
Michael doesn't agree with my assessment of Weston McKennie. He was just someone that won. He just didn't run, and he wasn't in shape. I can't help, but he wasn't in shape. And,
he was shy. He was shy, Michael.
We could pick a team. Maybe that's what you do. Pick a team of the worst players you've ever seen as you've watched Leeds. There's been some Edgar Chani, the striker.
Oh God,
all those Italian players that come through.
God,
some dreadful keepers and God,
depressing. Felix Wiedwald, he was
biscuit wrists, Rahopka, dreadful. I seen Bailey Peacock drop one into the net the weekend as well. Still going strong.
Oh God, it was just, Belushi as well. He was another one for me. He was just shocking. He was just shocking.
He was the bad word, which we not say. He was the real bad word.
He was horrific. You could go on, really, couldn't you? But
at least we always get good players when they're bad. Yeah. Let's remember the good times, because when you look over your lifetime as a football fan, most of it's misery. It is. It's all relative. If you're a Man City fan, you're probably miserable last because you only finished 2nd or 3rd. Whereas we know misery. I think we can hold our hands up to having proper misery.
Anyway, it's the international break. We can leave it there for a couple of weeks. We can all leave it. I'm quite glad the international break's here, because I don't have to think about Leeds for a while now, and we could just have
David.
a reset.
Belushi did score a great goal once, but I think his last game was a friendly, and he was booed out of the place. He wasn't a nice person. Wasn't
No,
at all.
he was no. So yeah, as I was saying, we can have a bit of a break from it. You can enjoy your trip around Europe, Jerry.
We got
fortnight
an interesting squad. We've picked a player who plays in the MLS, and I had to Google him. Kevin O'Toole. Never heard of him.
All right, okay.
Don't know who he is. Somebody in the MLS.
Somebody in the MLS.
That's our big. And you think, yeah. And when he sounds like he's named like O'Toole, he's all right. But big shout out to the Irish under-17 team in the World Cup. We've won the first 2 games, and we look all right. We're in the knockout stages, so the future's bright.
Excellent.
The future's green. Yeah, there we go.
Excellent. Well, enjoy your trip, Jerry. I'm sure we'll speak during there, but it's time to leave Leeds for a while and then come.
Could all be different the next time we speak. Could all be different.
And
I don't think it will. I don't think it will. But it could be.
It's going to happen, but if it does, we'll pop on what we're in.
And all these guys commenting on here, they've got no jobs.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like us off.
I know.
You're doing your jobs, lads.
Yeah, we are. So thank you to everybody who's watched on YouTube. And don't forget to give us a like and subscribe. We will thank you for listening to the podcast as well, if you are as well. So, Jerry, we'll leave it there and we will see you soon.
It's time for me tea.
It's time for your teas. See you later.